Hello Cardfighters, Chris here from Vanguarder Build. We have week 2 of the Aichi Blaster Childlike Evolution. So we got some juicy upgrades this time, fixed some things, and not really sure where to go from there. But we'll start with the deck and kind of talk through it and then go through the matches. As usual, our starter is still Blue Scud Bark Gold. He's just good. Let's just get another grade 3 to stride with most of the time, or just kind of sticks around. I believe Wingo Brave is pretty expensive, so we can't really afford to do him in this evolution. So for the grade 3s, still 4 Blaster Blade Exceed, great card, already spent skill. We have 2 Alfreds, the OG King of Knights Alfred. He's really here just to have a name. I wanted to run 6 grade 3s that we kind of want to ride, because all the strides that are good need a Alfred or Blaster Heart, such as Alfred Holy Saver or Myriad Soul Saver, so you want to have that extra thing. There's no other Blaster grade 3s, and this is the cheapest Alfred one. His skill really isn't useful. It's a Counter Blast 3, which is incredibly expensive for getting 1 card out of your deck, but so it's not really worth it. It's just kind of there to, if you really need him, and then you could use the Blue Scud to kind of grab your Blaster later. So I did contemplate running the Legion, but the Legion just felt really bad because you needed to Legion before being able to go into Holy Saver or go into Myriad Soul Saver. And sometimes you can't Legion right away when you hit grade 3s. You'd have to stride something that's not Myriad or Alfred, and then Legion, and then go into Myriad or Alfred, and was not cutting it. I tried a little bit, and I was like, this is not going to work. Plus, I wanted to keep room for Palamedes, because he had won me so many games before. Palamedes obviously getting 10k, and those power columns really being the key reason why I was able to close out games. So we got to keep 3 Palamedes and kind of make our ride choices a little bit better. Grade 2s, we still have only the 1 Blaster Blade. They're expensive now. It's the sad truth. We replaced the Galatins with 2 Knight of Twin Sword. This is because what is lacking in the deck is multi-attacks. Right now the deck can get pretty good numbers, but it's missing the multi-attacking aspect, so the Knight of Twin Swords help with that, although there isn't an amazing amount of targets for them. Anyway, but it was still very useful getting those multi-attacks. You can make some nice plays with Myriad, Soul Saver, getting the power, and then we still got our 4 Bedivirs. Just enabling the counter charge combos and making really high power lanes, like 21k power lanes, really easily. So I really like him. And then we still have 4 Starhope Trumpeters. Getting anything from our deck can be useful. We could get Twin Sword to get multi attacks. We could get Ks on flip with Bedivere, like blah blah blah. So the grade 2s pretty good. Twin Swords have been nice. I was able to do like a nice little play with them. I'll talk about that when we go through the matches. 3 Ks, as we said before. 3 Marns, as usual. And then you notice that we're running 9 grade 3s instead of 8, so the reason we took 1 out is to drop down 1 Wingo Youth. Because, like I mentioned, Wingo Youth was not that great. It missed a lot of the times. I did get it to go off once or so this week, but it wasn't like amazing. Like I didn't really need it, so he's there. And then of course 4 perfect guards. You gotta have those perfect guards. How else are you gonna guard strides? Okay, and then we have 4 Flogo crits and 4 Luke crits, just like last time. But this time we changed Margle into Scion Rider. This is because I wanted to play 12 crits, because the Alfred Holy Saver stride gets you a lot of drive checks, and the more crits you have, the more pressure you can create on that turn, and you can kind of keep your opponent at 4 damage, which is really good if they really need counter blasts and didn't think about it. They use all their counter blasts and they don't have a way to unflip on your turn. You can just pressure them with crits and force them to take no damage, which is very good. So we got the 12 crits, and then of course 4 heals. And then the strides, we added one Gabblade. This is to kind of fix the problem with striding a vanilla stride first. Interestingly enough, I don't know that this actually helped because people are incentivized to guard this. And so they'll guard it, whereas a Myriad, they might just take it. So people are incentivized to guard this, and then you end up having them at lower damage when you go into Alfred Holy Saver, which means you need to check more crits later in the game, and so it can be kind of bad, but, you know, it is what it is. Of course, we have 4 Holy Savers still, 2 Myriads. This one, like, it's starting to become more of a finisher because we can use Gabblade to start off our strides, but still very good. If you rush them really early, you can go into that first and kind of push them out. And then 2 Holy Religious Soul Savers, so as Myriad and Religious. Religious still being kind of dead. It's almost never good. Like, you can't get the crit on it, and you have to have the field for the plus 5k. Like, you might as well just be using Myriad to get plus 5 to your whole field and not have to, like, commit to the field already. And then lastly, we have 2 Great Shield Assaults still. So not too much has changed. We just added a Gabblade, made it a bit more consistent in the game plan. We're not striding like a vanilla stride for nothing. Of course, you may still want to stride a Saber stride as the first one, just to grab a grade 3 to guarantee your stride on the next turn. Alright, so going into the matches, round 1 I played against Nova Grapplers. Game 1, it was a little unfortunate for him. He rode the newer Victor, which isn't quite what he wanted, and then he had a 2-card stride, so he was kind of like hurting on the resources. So I tried my best to control his field with Blaster Blade Exceed, although I was like already behind, and then we were kind of like fighting back and forth. I got Alfred stride off. He hit back really hard. He like lived it. He hit back really hard. I got a 6 damage heal. I needed to live, so I got the 6 damage heal. I pushed back with Alfred. He got the 6 damage heal, and then, but he still didn't really have much because he burned up all his hand. So it was quite unfortunate for him. And then I was able to live, and then got the win. Next game, it was kind of similar to my part where we did a lot of rushing. Like we got Wingo Brave off, got him up to high damage early, and then finished him off with a strong Myriad Saver. Pretty good. Myriad Saver, so good today. Alright, so round 2, we played against Amon Dark Irregulars. This game was hard because they can make a very, very powerful Gilderize, which prevents you from guarding with grade 1s or higher. So the first game, I kind of forgot how to play against it. Like, I was taking damage, guarding attacks. Eventually I went up to 4 damage, and all these like grade 0 guys were missing, and he went into Gilderize for like 56 or something, and even with the G-Guard, I couldn't get that high up. So I had to take it 4 damage, and he got a crit to prevent me from healing out of it, or, you know, because I was already going to go to 6 because Gilderai has that crit built in. But then I was going to go to 7, and I was like, well, healing out of that is really hard. So that was how game 1 went. Game 2, it was a bit closer. Rushed him up to high damage, got him to 4, got Myriad Soul Saver, or sorry, not Myriad Soul Saver, Alfred Holy Saver. Got onto him, put crits on the rear guard blaster. So we had like we had our favorite. We had the 21 column Blaster Blade Exceed and Palamedes over here. So we got crits, put it on Blaster Blade Exceed. Exceed swung, got crits on Palamedes, and pushed in there like really high numbers. And he didn't quite have enough to guard the Palamedes. Took the 6 damage, and we got the win. So Palamedes closing on yet another game. What a homie. And then game 3 was really rough. It was kind of the same as the first game. And then game 3 was really close. There were several times where I gave him a 1 to pass or a 2 to pass, and he didn't quite make it. And then finally at the end, it came down to that clutch 1 to pass. It was like, he doesn't have very many cards in deck, and I can't guard his rear guard if he gets the trigger. So I gave him that 1 to pass, and he got the trigger, the last trigger in his 4-card deck. So I guess the odds weren't great for me, but I had to take them, and we lost that 1-2, unfortunately. But yeah, that was pretty good because we got the first one. That's better than last week, right? Last week we only got 1 win, so we're already tied with last week. Alright, so the next round we got faced up against a Night Rose player, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be miserable. And then it got crazy. So that game 1, I got grade locked at 0, and then I had a D assist, and I missed it. And then he was like, okay, well, that sucks. And so he went up to grade 2, I found my grade 1, I caught up, and then he missed G assist for grade 3. 3 turns in a row. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I did my best. I tried to get triggers. I tried to rush him as hard as I could with my grade 2s, push him up to high damage, but I wasn't able to close it out before he hit grade 3, and then he hit grade 3, and then that's when everything would happen. Like, he did all the Night Rose things, he retired a lot of my field, drew a lot of cards, set up his defense, and I wasn't really able to punish back. And so even after being locked at grade 2, even though he was stuck at grade 2 for multiple turns, I really just couldn't pressure out. And I think that's one of the disadvantages of the deck, being all generation break. You cannot punish someone who's stuck, so it doesn't really matter if they're stuck. I had to wait till GB1 just to get my effects off, and it basically never happened because once he got that first stride, he came back super hard. And then game 2, it was kind of more normal. He rode the Starlight Night Rose, which is the new Night Rose, which means he can't do that pesky retiring combo. So I was just able to grind it out by getting grade 3s, or keep getting Stride Botter with Blaster Blade Exceed, and then punishing him in with like Palamedes, high power columns, and pressuring with crits. Got a lot of triggers there to help me out. It definitely helped that he couldn't use a defensive combo, because if they can do that, then they can blow up your Blaster Blade before it does the drive checks, and then you don't get them, which is really bad. So, game 3, we just had normal Vanguard, no shenanigans. He got the grade 3 he wanted, I got the grade 3 I wanted, no G assisting anywhere here, no grade locking anywhere here, and as you might expect, he absolutely destroyed me. The Night Rose deck is so good. It can generate so much more advantage and power than I can with my measly retires, and Palamedes being like my real only good source of making high numbers. So that's pretty brutal, but not quite up what I expected. And then round 4, we played against Link, Joker, Messiah, and I was like, oh gosh, there's no way. How do I beat this guy? Because I have, like, you've seen the deck, you guys. Like, what do I like just hope that I get a bunch of crits? Is that the best way? Like, I do this, and I was like, no, Chris, you gotta rush him absolutely as hard as you can, because there's no way you're gonna be able to live once he starts locking you down. No way. So that's what I did. I was getting where's my Barkle? Alright, so I had the Blue Sky Barkle. I was like moving him to the side. I wasn't gonna heal, but like I'd move him to the side, call a trigger in front of it, swing, and then have Vanguard, and the next turn I'll like call a grade 1 to attack him. So I was doing everything I can to get 3 attacks every turn, and he wasn't hitting triggers, so he had to go up to really high damage early. Then by the time, so I got second, so I was able to stride first. So he was already at like 4 or 5 damage on that first stride. So I was able to strike first. I used Barkle to get that 3rd soul. I even had, I don't know where my cards are everywhere. So I even had Twin Sword. So what I was able to do is I was able to go into Myriad Soul Saver, put this guy into Soul, get the 3 soul from Myriad Soul Saver, and I had Twin Sword, so I was able to get +5 to everything, and then swing like a 16, and then swing with Twin Sword, calling out a new attacker that would get boosted, so then I have like a 16, a 26, and then a 21, and I also have Vanguard going for like 38 or something like that, and so it was really good. and he was already at a high damage, like 4 or 5, so he couldn't guard it. And I got the win, and I was like, whew, good thing he didn't start locking me down. And so I was like, okay, well, this is my strat. We gotta go all in on it. So game 2, we did the same exact thing, except he got a damage trigger. So I attacked with one side, he took it, didn't get a damage trigger. Attacked the other side, he got a damage trigger. And then I was like, okay, well, yeah, attack Vanguard, you need one, there's already one trigger. And he's like, one trigger. And then I busted the critical trigger on him, let's go. So crit trigger came out, put him up to 4 damage, like right off my first attack turn. It feels bad for him. Feels like qualia for me or something. So I got the crit. I was like, okay, well, I guess that's a thing. So since he went second this time, he got first stride, but he was already at like 4 or 5 damage. I think he was at 5 damage this time, so he needed to guard everything. He got 1 lockdown because he couldn't. I don't know, like for what I think they can only really get 1 lock usually. Unless they're playing some other card. So the first stride, he got 1 lock, but I was still able to use, I believe it was the Bedivere K or maybe like a Palamedes that I used. So then I was able to do like a 36 Vanguard, and then a huge like 31k rear guard column. And he didn't have the shield to block. He could block Vanguard, and then he had to take the rear guard, and that was game. It was super fast. Like we were done way before anyone else was. But you know, rushing super hard and then going to Myriad is a good plan. Who knew? Myriad being an excellent first stride for pushing damage, but in like the slower games, I don't always want to do that because you could use up your soul, which you might need later, and you can't always recover a lot of soul with this deck. So. But yeah, overall, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. We got 2 wins total, which is the 1 improvement over the last time. So hopefully, with this next week, we could go for 3 wins. That would be excellent. Hopefully, Twin Sword's gonna help us. Twin Sword was really great on that Myriad turn in the last game, where I was able to get 4 attacks at really high numbers. So I'm hoping to see more good results from the Twin Sword boy. And yeah, so that's about it for this week. I hope you guys liked the recap and the deck upgrades. Let me know what you would have upgraded if you think that I'm stupid and I should have gone for the Alfred Legion instead. Of course, leave those thoughts in the comments. Give a thumbs up if you liked the video, and make sure to subscribe for more content. Obviously, we'll have week 3 next week. And of course, there's more Judge Bao's product reviews, that kind of thing coming in the future. Thanks again for watching. Shout out to the patrons on Patreon for helping me do this thing and supporting the videos. Really appreciate it. If you'd like to be one of them, head over to patreon.com/vanguarderbuilt, and that will, or you can just wait for the end state to pop up and click the orange P. It'll take you right over there. Keep on learning, keep on having fun, and I'll see you in another video.